This is WOMM LP operating out of Burlington, Vermont, 105.9 The Radiator. Good evening, it's The Rocket Shop. I'm your host, Tom Proxer, and with me tonight is the Tyler Mast Band. Hello.
Hello.
Or two members of the Tyler Mast Band.
Hey, how's it going?
Hi. Tyler Mast, I'm assuming,
Me.
on the keyboards, tickling the keys today, and who's on the guitar today?
I'm Marshall Dominguez.
Nice to meet you, Marshall.
Nice to meet you.
We love listening to a song to kick us off the show, so what have you got for us?
We're going to start with a new tune that we are dropping onto the streaming platforms on 9/11. It's called String of Horses. That's my birthday.
Well, I got lucky on that one.
It's called String of Horses.
the Tyler Mast Band there with String of Horses. So thank you so much for opening up with that one. It's a gorgeous song, and you said that's going to be coming out on your birthday.
That's right, yeah. Streaming platforms, yeah.
And is that from the new album that came out in 2022, or is it a teaser for this upcoming album in 2023?
Yeah, no, it's from the album that I put out earlier this year. We released the album and then kind of did everything backwards, and now we're dropping some singles onto streaming platforms. So this will be the third one that's available for folks to check out.
Yeah, so obviously you're a very accomplished musician. A quick peek at your bio before I came in this evening, and rarely do you see someone who has obviously done as much work as you do not be on all the streaming platforms, not have every single single and demo and album on the likes of Spotify. Was that a conscious choice? I'm assuming it was. And why did you go that route?
Well, I've been a part of a lot of different projects over the years, but pretty much exclusively it's been me sort of supporting other artists' visions, which is fantastic. But when the pandemic happened and I just had all this time on my hand, I started writing music and thought, I think it's time for me to sort of do my own thing. So I think you're going to start hearing a lot more from me and my band in the coming years, and have more music out there.
Oh, that's great. And just tell us a little bit about your personal music history, from kind of working as a session musician through to the inception of the Tyler Mast Band and where that's going now.
Well, for folks who are in the Burlington area who've been around a while, they might recognize some of these bands. But I came out to Vermont in '05 and went to studied jazz music at school at the UVM, and then after college played in a group called Bear Aquarium, which was like this 8-piece funk band. A lot of fun, and we were kind of busy touring around and doing our thing, and turns out it's hard to keep an 8-piece band together. So that was the first of several real fun projects I've been in over the years. In addition to doing like some organ trio stuff, I love playing the Hammond organ. I don't have that with me tonight, but I do bring it out to gigs and things like that. So I've had some organ trios and stuff like that. Josh Panda is somebody that I play a lot of music with. I was part of his band, Josh Panda and the Hot Damned. And again, once 2020 happened, it was time to kind of rethink my approach to getting back out on the scene. So that's where I'm at now.
Was there any particular impetus in that 2020 moment? Was it, obviously everything shut down and there's no more gigs going on in 2020, and, alone in your room or whatever, you're like, all right, I'm going to just focus on the solo stuff? Or was it like a specific moment you're like, actually, no, I want to actually go do my own thing here? So what came first, should I say? Like, was it the music and then it was like, okay, I'm going to go do my own thing? Or?
I think it was the music, because I realized when everything just like came to a halt, it was like I actually have years worth of life experiences and stuff that I've been through, some good and some very, very difficult, and I really just kind of put all that into song, and then thought, okay, well, got to learn how to sing, number one. If I'm actually going to put this out there, I need a band, number two, and, then the list goes on. But yeah, I'd say it started with the music.
As someone that's done so much work with so many other musicians, was it almost an embarrassment of riches when trying to pick out a band and trying to pick out a studio, or was it you already had people in mind? You're like, I'm gonna use Marshall here and whoever else, and you already had kind of that band already kind of set in your mind.
I know a lot of musicians, and I feel blessed that I am friendly with and play music with just so many incredibly talented musicians. But it's really surprising how hard it is to get a group of people together for an album or for a band, because everybody's so busy. Because you get good musicians, everybody wants them. So I don't know. I guess that's my answer.
Did you have people in mind when you kind of started thinking about bringing a band together, or is this was it like open casting call?
Well, no, I did have some folks in mind. So on the album, I recorded it with some of the members of the Grift, and they've been around Vermont for a real long time. And we had done a bunch of other like tribute shows together, some like Elton John tribute and Queen and all sorts of fun stuff. And so those guys, I was like, this is a band right here. We gotta make this happen. So they recorded the tracks with me. But lately I've been reaching out to a bunch of different folks. And Marshall's been playing with me recently, which has been fantastic, as we start to put ourselves out there a bit more and get on the scene with gigs and filling up the schedule.
So the album came out in 2022. Is that the first studio album that you've created as a band or as a solo artist? So it's kind of a bit of one and a bit in the other of that one.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I did come out with like an EP. I forget what year it was. It was like 6 or 7 years ago, called Tyler Mast and Paradise Divide. And that was really interesting stuff. It was instrumental music, sort of like I think I called it groove art. It was very like jazz fusion-y, but with some like kind of like if Bela Fleck were on the piano, and if I could be as good as him, which I'm not saying I am, but that sort of style of that approach. So yeah, I did put that out, but this is like a totally different thing. It's the first thing where I'm writing music with lyrics rather than like kind of through composed instrumental stuff.
Right. And so as you've most of your career you're playing with other, as you said, kind of creating other people's projects. So when you approach that, there's already a lot already in place, and it's like, we want you to come in, we want you to play like this, or we want you to, maybe improvise a little bit, and we want you to bring your own kind of style to it. But ultimately, as you said, it's someone else's project. Bringing your own self and your own project to other people, was that intimidating? Was that something you really were keen to share? How did that feel, kind of bringing people in and going, actually, this time I'm in the driving seat, and this is what I would like to hear from you? Did that feel kind of vulnerable?
Yeah, I guess a little bit. I think I've learned a lot because having played that supporting role with a lot of different band leaders over the years, yeah, I know how I want to be spoken to
Right.
and told what to do or not to do. So I try to kind of remember what that's like when you're helping somebody, helping to support somebody else's vision. So I don't know that vulnerable is a word I would use. Vulnerable to put my lyrics out into the world, especially those that are a bit more personal. That more so than hanging with the people I'm making the music with.
Right.
We're all good together. So
I mean, you're all musicians. You know how this kind of thing rolls. But the album is a great reception. It's been nominated for Album of the Year by Indie Shark magazine. Is this something you expected, or is this been just far and away bigger than you anticipated when you kind of first put this down?
I just wanted to do something that I could really feel good about putting my name on, and I don't know. I guess I'd like to dream big, So the more people that are checking it out, the better.
Yeah, I mean, you've already managed to crack up 22,000 odd plays on Spotify, and there's only 2 songs on there at the moment, which is, I mean, we run the gamut when it comes to musicians, from dude in the hills on a guitar, playing and never having made an album before, to people like as large as you. But that's got to feel pretty good when this is your first kind of project, and there's already thousands of people have been playing your songs.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I was. So I do the Dead Set Tuesdays over at Nectar's, and playing Grateful Dead tunes. And this past Tuesday it was set break, and I was kind of hanging out, and all of a sudden I hear, "Ayla, Ayla." I'm like, hey, that's my tune. That's my tune.
Yeah, it must be kind of like a pinch yourself moment in a little way. Well, we'd love to hear another song. So what have you got for us?
Well, let's do the one I was just singing. So this is the first track on that album. It's called Ayla.
away by the crime. Give me one reason to stay and I'll try. Pour me rye, whiskey or wine to drown out these voices inside. We're nearing that moment when truth still half spoken will cry. Break down these walls so defined, aching for some silver line. Hurt me so badly, but leave and I'll die. Ayla, 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 where are you? Ayla, 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 tell the truth. Give me some wings to soar, past memories holding captive my mind. Freedom from choices, still I hear distant voices from the sky. They're telling me to give up this fight. Who's wrong, what's dark, where's light? Lock, chain and drown me, set free and I'll fly. Ayla, 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 where are you? Ayla, 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 tell the truth. Ayla, 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 where are you? Ayla, 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 tell the truth. Ayla, 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 where are you? Ayla, 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 tell the truth.
I love that little flair at the end. Also fantastic guitar solo there. Absolutely adored that one. Ayla there by the Tyler Mast Band. So Tyler, tell me about how it was writing these songs. As you said, it was kind of down in lockdown. And was it kind of a culmination of years of you kind of coming up with these ideas and these songs, and you kind of just finally put them down to paper? Or was it a case of this was kind of a lockdown album, like you wrote these from start to finish in that kind of time period?
Yeah, I wrote all these tunes. There's 9 tracks on the album. I wrote those plus, I don't know, almost a whole nother second album in, the first year and a half or so. Yeah, a lot of this stuff just came to me real quick, and like everybody, there was nothing to do for a while, and I got a nice piano in my living room and thought, yeah, now it's time to get. But I did kind of surprise myself. I was like, yeah, I'm writing a lot of music. I haven't written this much music, I don't think, ever in my life. At least at this rate. and it's still going. Still been writing new tunes. I'm ready to put out another album. Got the songs for it. We'll see. We'll see when I can get in there.
You just open that tap now, and it's just it won't stop anymore.
Yeah.
Was it the kind of the being not having the demands of having to tour or gig or whatever, or was it that there was nothing else going on? I mean, I know a lot of people went one or the other way. It was either a creative explosion or like, I am not touching an instrument, I am not opening my laptop, I'm not doing nothing for like a year. And obviously you were the former.
Yeah, and I'm thankful for that. I also took up gardening.
Lovely.
which I've since pretty much abandoned. But I'll get back at it. The songwriting's stuck, though.
Well, that's the important thing, being a professional and everything. But I was going to ask you if anything good in your garden's been growing this summer. We just inherited a garden. Which
let's go in a different direction.
So as you said, you've just the kind of the faucet's opened and the creativity's still going. You're still writing. Do you set yourself to kind of a routine? Are you kind of a guy? It's like, all right, I'm going to get up at 8:30 and have my coffee. I'm going to sit down at the piano and I'm going to just write and go. Or are you kind of a as and when kind of person?
So I take a lot of voice memos on my phone because you just never know when like some catchy little line or some lyric is gonna just come to me as I'm going about my day. I do get a lot of good ideas from like if I'm out skiing or mountain biking or something. But other times it's like it's a instrumental, like a piano motif, and I think like, hey, that's really nice. Like, what kind of words might match this? Or like a hook will come to me and I'll think that's a great hook. What's the story there? How can I build a story around that? And that's when I do say, all right, tonight I'm sitting down and I'm gonna just kind of have a free flow, and I record a lot of it, and 99% of it is like, oh no, don't share this with anybody.
Keep the lid on that one.
Yeah, exactly.
But obviously, as long as you got that 1%, and then you kind of in business.
Yeah.
So when it comes to this second album, as you said, you kind of all ready to get into the studio with it. What did you learn creating this first album that is going to kind of be different in that second album? And what are you keeping the same? What were you like? I absolutely nailed this. I'm just going to build on what I've got here.
I love the production. I was very pleased with the way that the sounds turned out. I was very pleased with the musicianship of everybody who I hired to make it with me. I was pretty psyched on just about everything. I think what will make the next album different from this one is just the way that my songs are starting to change a little bit. So just kind of a different approach. There's I think there's probably just like a couple more like groovers, like I don't know. When we play live, I think like right now is when like we need to step it up a notch. Where's that song? So I'll try to kind of create something that sort of fits that bill, and then back to the voice memo. So what I got here? But yeah, I'm psyched for it. It's gonna be good.
Have you got like a name for anything yet, or is it all kind of?
No, I'm making this up as we go along.
I love this. You mentioned like you get that little motif or maybe that line. You're like, I'm gonna craft a story around it. Do you find your songs do have kind of this story arc in them, or is it a bit more abstract? Is it kind of a mixture of the two?
I don't know. I mean, they make a lot of sense to me, but I'm sure other people, might sit down and read lyrics and go, well, what is he trying to say there? I mean, I don't know. Maybe not. I can't really say, because to me it makes everything I write like, yeah. Well, you don't know that's about this? Like, well, duh.
So is it that everything you write is specifically about something that is either part of your life or like something that you've read, or is it all quite personal?
It's a little bit of everything. I like to write tunes that are personal, but then it's nice to just have some tunes that aren't that way too, especially when you're performing them or putting it out in the world. So no, it's really just kind of when inspiration strikes, and again, it's like if I've got something, I want to build a story around it. I might borrow like something that happened to me or somebody else I know, and then be like, hey, that was cool. Let's maybe fudge those details or kind of like, build on that in a different way. And it's like, well, yeah, well, so now it's like loosely based on this thing, but let's not dive too deep into it because I made up some of those things.
So this sounds like it's mostly been kind of a solo effort, and obviously you bringing musicians when you're getting to the part where you want to start recording. Have you thought about collaborating with other folks, especially when it comes to the songwriting? Or is this, you're like, all right, no, I want to do this my own. I want to have that kind of space myself right now, and maybe that's down the line.
Yeah, that's interesting because Marshall could possibly speak to it because so what I try to do is give like, oh yeah, there. I try to give my band members like a demo that's pretty complete to be like, hey, here's the tune. Because we were talking earlier about just how, good musicians are busy. They're in 6-7 bands, and it's like, here's the song. Can we do it this way? Mostly just to try to make it easy for the people I'm hiring to support my vision,
Right. Yeah, it definitely makes it easier to learn when there's already a complete song that you can listen to and refer to. And because his idea is already so fleshed out, it doesn't really leave so much room for creative thoughts in terms of what my job might be as a guitar player or anyone else's. But there is some wiggle room there.
Well, I've also been, and you probably have too, but just been in bands where there's a lot of cooks in the kitchen and a lot of strong opinions about how a tune should go, and in some ways you can come out with some really fantastic stuff. But it can often take a really, really long time. So yeah, I do. I just write the songs, and I'm like, hey, this is what we're gonna do.
Already recorded, so.
That's true. All the stuff on the album, when Marshall came to play with me, I was like, well, this is the record. Just this is what we're gonna do.
Play this.
But for new stuff, I don't always, I'm like, well, here's the recording. It's piano and voice, and it's like, could you just do this sort of thing? And when people toss out cool ideas, and I'm always down to try it, and often that's makes the song even better. So
now you play in as you said, jam band tribute jam bands. I know you've also played with David Pod, Jerry Garcia band, so jam bands kind of thrive on the whole concept of jam bands is kind of improvisation. Is that the route you're taking with the Tyler Mast band? And if so, as Marshall, as someone who kind of has come in, and at least on the recorded songs, you kind of know what you're going to play before you kind of come into it. Is those live shows, do you have a bit more of that space for kind of improvisation?
Yeah, there's definitely more space for improvisation with the solo stuff specifically. Some of it is it's already so good and sort of kind of iconic. When you listen to the song, you might hear a line, it's like, oh, that's definitely the song, it's great, and I want to have that. And then there's usually some amount of wiggle room where you can kind of be creative and take some liberties. But essentially, it kind of comes down to just what feels right in the moment. So even though I just said that, it might not go anything like that. So sometimes you just gotta feel the juice and kind of see where the solo takes you.
I see. And Tyler, is your intention to make the Tyler Mast band kind of a bit of a jammy band? And obviously you got your album, but then when it comes to those live shows, you do kind of mix it up a little bit.
I think with any band that's probably the evolution of every band, it's you start out and you're playing these tunes. It's all right, these are the songs we've got. This is what we recorded. So this is, in my case, it's well, I think a lot of people would call this folk rock. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, this folk. Well, but then this tune's actually a little bit more jammy, and and there's this 3-minute guitar solo at the end of this one. So what's that about? And so I guess it's, I feel comfortable saying I'm still searching for what that sound is, which is cool because I'm trying to stay open to sort of wherever that inspiration leads. I do think that live we stretch stuff out a bit more, and as I was saying earlier, some of the newer material leaves some room for that too. So that's no accident for sure.
Well, love to hear another song. So, what have you got for us?
Are we gonna have time for two more?
Two
tunes?
more. So yeah,
All right,
hopefully
cool.
this third one, and then we'll have one last one to play you as it plays out.
All right. Well, so we're gonna do some of that new stuff then. This one does not leave any room for opening. Not the opposite of what I just said. But I think you'll like it nonetheless. It's called Brother.
Brother, can you hear me when I talk to you? Brother, can you feel me when I need you to? These days I ride alone on down the hill, just making up some memories we could fill. Oh no. Brother, will you take the time if I call today? Brother, will you guide me home if I lose the way? I walked inside your steps since I was a kid, and it's crazy that we landed where we did. For sure. For sure. So toss me the ball from your side of the road. Send me a clip of that tune that you wrote. Let's meet up in Nashville, we'll catch the last show. Everything changes, this much I know. Brother, will you know me if I fall astray? Brother, will you pull me in if I float away? I know it's not that bad, 'cause to live in different states is not that sad. For sure. For sure. So toss me the ball from your side of the road. Send me a clip of that tune that you wrote. Let's meet up in Nashville, we'll catch the last show. Everything changes, there's much I know. So toss me the keys, we'll go as your first car. Promise me you'll always play the guitar. I'll send you a clip of that tune that I wrote. Everything changes, there's much I know. Everything changes, there's much I know. Everything changes, there's much I know.
Brother There by the Tyler Mast Band. That was a lovely song. It was
Thank you.
very, very soothing for a Wednesday night.
It's about my brother.
I assumed as much, but I wasn't going to say anything. So you really do have a laundry list of incredible musicians you've played with. My personal favourite, Rubble Bucket. But, you know, Cat Wright as well, Derry Garcia Band, who's a Dober Pod, which must be an absolute hoot to play with, to be honest, and such a party on that one. What do you take away from nights like that? How do you kind of get yourself in that mindset, and then in that kind of position where you've got, I'm assuming sometimes crowds of thousands of people in front of you. I mean, what's the takeaway when you kind of leave that stage? Or is this just another day's work for you? Is it just you turning up with your briefcase and?
I mean, I don't know. I have had the pleasure of sharing the stage with tons of awesome musicians and in a bunch of different situations. Like, oh, my band's playing with this band and this person's hopping in. They're going to sit in for a tune, and it's like, oh, cool. Like that person's there. But I mean, I don't know. It's just, I think when you like hang out with musicians backstage too, and you just see like, oh, there's just like a dude right there. He's just been doing it for a while. He's really good at it. So, you know.
Have you ever been starstruck? Has there ever been a moment where you're like, holy, that's
No, because I haven't met too many famous people. No, but like I was actually just having this conversation with somebody not too long ago, like, because one of my buddies was saying, yeah, I met this guy, like, you know, I won't say the musician's name, but you know, I met him and we played together, and like this guy was kind of a jerk, and it really let me down. I've been idolizing him my whole life, you know, and we got to talking like, well, so who would you be like really starstruck by, you know, and I was like, Beyonce. You know?
Yeah, I'd probably be pretty starstruck with Beyonce.
I mean, I'm sure there are plenty others, but
she's as close to a living god as we're likely to see in our lifetimes. You know what
Right.
I mean? But yeah, I mean, it must still be pretty incredible. Was there a moment in your professional development when you're like, I'm making it as a musician. This is not a very normal thing. Well done, me.
yeah, I mean, so it sort of connects to your last question though, because like, if I'll walk off stage and have just played with somebody really cool, and even if it's just like a band that's been around for longer and they're just, you know, they're just a step up, and everyone's like, hey, yeah, nice playing, hey, good job, yeah, nice solo, hey, yeah, you too, cool, and then it's like, yeah, I can hang, it's all good.
I belong in the scene.
Is this okay?
No one move. So, as you said, you're kind of doing the whole, like, release the album backwards kind of thing, release the album, then did the singles, but you have been out playing, and we've not got too much time left, but I would love to know some of the places you played, and then what have you got coming up for the rest of the summer now?
Yeah, well, so we've got a couple gigs coming up. We're going to be the local stuff. We're doing Halverson's at the top block of Church Street on a week from today, on Wednesday of next week. And then we're super psyched about doing a gig at Foam Brewers down at the waterfront in Burlington. That's on Sunday, September 4th. And it's Labor Day weekend, so most folks hopefully you know, have to work on Monday. And come on out and check us out there. So that's what we're doing in the next couple weeks. We also got a Middlebury play happening in the town center at the end of September. Wanted to clarify something though, real quick though, about the album though, because it is available, you know, for purchase on our website. So at Tyler Mast Music, you can go there and grab it. You can get some free tracks off there too. And you know, eventually we'll drop it to Spotify, but not yet.
Don't let their grubby hands be on it too soon. And that Foam gig's probably going to be great. I mean, Labor Day weekend down at the waterfront, Foam Brewers.
Yeah, we're psyched. We're gonna have our full band too. We'll have our drummer and our bass player here, and maybe some special guests. It'll be good.
I'm sure it's going to be hot and sunny, and yeah, that's a top quality gig right there. As you said, you are available on Spotify, in dribs and drabs. It's coming, and your website, tylermastband.com, is that correct?
Yep, at tylermastmusic.com.
Excellent.
Yeah, both of them actually.
Well, we've loved having you come in. Really excited to see what this next album will be as well. And it's just been great talking to you. Thank you both for dropping in.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
We do like hearing a song to play us out with, so what you got for us?
All right, this is another freshie. This one's called I Can't Wait Much Longer.
got time. We got so much time to do it all. Well, I felt it in the winter when we slipped upon the red rock views, and I told you on the mountain, when I knew you had the feeling too. Now baby, we got time. Yes, we've got so much time, but I can't wait much longer for this life. Oh, I can't wait much longer. Oh, I can't wait much longer. Ooh, I can't wait much longer for this life. Well, I feel it in the morning when the sun is trying to break on through. Yes, I get it in the evening when the moon is shining bright on you. Yes, I got time. Oh, I got so much time to do it all. Well, I read it on a postcard, then I heard it in your favorite song. I saw you jumping in the backyard. Yes, and I knew it was a love so strong. Now, baby, we got time. Yes, we got so much time, but I can't wait much longer for this life. I can't wait much longer. I can't wait much longer. Ooh, I can't wait much longer for this life. I can't stand to wait no more. And I can't stand to take no more. Well, it's been a long time coming, wouldn't you say, love? And these boots ain't made for running. Won't you stay, love? Won't you stay, love? Won't you stay with me, love? Won't you stay? Oh, I can't wait much longer. Oh, I can't wait much longer. Ooh, I can't wait much longer for this life. I can't wait much longer. I can't wait much longer. Ooh, I can't wait much longer for this life. Ooh, I can't wait much longer for this life. No, I can't wait much longer for this life. Yes, well, I can't wait much longer for this life.
All right, Tyler Mast Band playing us out with I Can't Wait Much Longer. Guys, thank you once again for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you. It's a pleasure.
Well, that's all we've got time for tonight. Join us next week when we got The Fog coming in. But for now, this has been WOMM-LP operating out of Burlington, Vermont, 105.9 The Radiator, The Rocket Shop. I've been your host, Tom Proctor, and good night. That was great. Thank you so much. That was fantastic.
Thank you.